Welcome to Sales Simplified. Today we're going to talk about VLOOKUP error messages. In this example, on the top spreadsheet, we have our employee information, and we're trying to create our VLOOKUP in column G to where we're looking up the department code that's in column F, and we're looking that information up in our table array that is in our lower spreadsheet department listing. And so we've created our VLOOKUP formula, and now we're going to hit enter to calculate. And we're getting an error message, and it's talking about a limitation on the worksheet size of 256 columns and 65,536 rows. Now, as many of you may remember, these limitations are the column and row limits for the old Excel document format, the XLS. However, we also have the new Excel format, which is the XSLX, and the limitations are a lot higher for columns and rows, although I can't get anywhere near those before my computer starts losing its mind. But we allegedly have 1,048,576 rows and 16,384 columns to work with. And so when we are referencing the entire column in our table array like we are here, you can see we're just referencing columns A through D. It's really like referencing A1 all the way through D 1,048,576. However, we can see this error message is talking about the old XLS format, and so if we look at our spreadsheets, we can see department listing looks fine, but when we come up here to employee information, we have the words compatibility mode after it. And that's because it's in the old XLS format, and Excel is making changes to it to make it compatible with the new version of Excel. And so we're getting this error message because our table array is on an XSLX document, but our VLOOKUP is in an XLS document. So there are a few different ways we can fix this. We can make both spreadsheets the same type of document, either XLS or XSLX, or we can change our formula. And so for ease here, we're going to go ahead and change our formula. So let's go ahead and click OK on this error message. And what we need to do is we need to just reference the actual block of cells where the table array exists instead of the entire columns, and that will get rid of our error message. So when we are referencing a block of cells or a range, we need to list the upper left-hand cell in that range, followed by a colon, and then the lower right-hand cell in the range. And so if we look at our department listing table array, we can see our upper left-hand cell is A1, and then our lower right-hand cell is D6. So we want to update our formula to reference A1 colon D6. And now we'll press enter. And so we can see we've successfully calculated our department name. Let's go ahead and drag this down by double-clicking. And so we are getting an error message a little bit further down here. And so like we mentioned in our previous dragging and locking formula for formulas, which I'll put a link into, what Excel has done is as we drag the formula down, it is incrementing any row references that we have in that formula by 1 for every row that we drag the formula down. So we started out with A1 through D6, but by the time we get to row 6, we have A5 through D10. So Excel is shifting it for us automatically. So what we need to do is lock our row references for our table array, but still leave our lookup value where it's not locked. That way it will continue to increment. So let's go ahead and put a $sign in front of the 1 in A1, and then let's put a $sign in front of the 6 in D6. And now we'll press enter. And again, we're going to select this cell, move our mouse over the lower right-hand corner, and when we have the crosshair, we're going to double-click. And so now we can see that we have successfully dragged down our formula and calculated all of our department names with our VLOOKUP. One more note about if you resolve your error message by saving both files in the same format, then you need to go ahead and close the file that you changed the extension of. So for instance, if you made the file that was an XLS into an XSLX, then you would save it with the new extension, close the file, and then reopen it, and then try your VLOOKUP again. You really have to close the file that you've just changed out, and then open it up again as the new extension before Excel will let you finish that VLOOKUP. I hope this was helpful. Subscribe, like, and comment below if there are any other topics that you'd like to see us discuss. Thanks.